when that went on. When I was on my way to Vietnam, I was home on leave and went up to buy some things on Telegraph Avenue, and People's Park demonstrations broke out. And my best story from all of that is I was up there with my then girlfriend, and we were shopping, and there were riots and tear gas, and we had a couple of these big old burly, I think they were from Oakland. I mean, that was the whole controversy of Reagan and Beast and the Oakland police and everything coming in. And they had this big, scruffy, hippie-looking guy down there, and they're just beating the heck out of him. And all of a sudden, he puts up his hand, and he says, "Stop, stop, stop, I'm FBI, I'm FBI." That's Berkeley. So, at Berkeley was the genesis, the birthplace of the environmental movement. It was the birthplace of the free speech movement. To a significant degree, it was the birthplace of the women's movement. A number of my high school classmates went down to work in the civil rights movement. I went in the Army instead. But it was hard not to be interested in social issues coming out of an environment like that. And even when I was at Mentor, we were a significant enough public company that I had to do various things in Washington. Meet with people, talk about R&D tax credits, talk about availability of capital and things like that. So I kind of had an interest when I was a kid, and kind of grew. And starting a political campaign for someone like me, who've never been in politics, is really not very different than starting a company. It's the same kind of thing. In the beginning, there was just me. Just like it was a Mentor. And it was going off, and it was talking to this person and saying, "I'm thinking about doing this, what do you think? And you know anybody else I can talk to?" You go talk to those people, and then you ask them the same question, and you just kind of keep doing that. That's what we did at Mentor. That's how the political thing kind of got going. And the next thing you know, you spent $4 or $5 million, and the whole thing's over.
So, even though you're onto drugs now, on two drugs, what in the technology industry fascinates you now? I mean, what are the things that you, for good or for bad, are finding interesting or intriguing?
I'm a fan of social media. I'm a fan of Facebook as a tool. I'm a fan of Twitter as a tool. I'm still a little sketch on LinkedIn, but who knows, maybe I'll figure that out one of these days. I find them to be much more interesting as tools than I do as businesses. They're just advertising platforms. They're not much different than a magazine. But they're fascinating in terms of what they do, and the uses of them fascinate me. A lot of it along the lines of social policy. I saw what happened in Egypt and the Middle East with social media and how that's affected things. And so that fascinates me. I'm not particularly convinced that these are great businesses. And I was an early investor in Facebook through a venture capital partnership that I was in. I'm not sure I would have made that decision. So it's a good thing somebody else did that. So social media certainly, you can't have 1 billion customers and not figure out a way to make money out of it. You simply can't at some level. I'm less enamored with some of the, although they're making money, and you can have a couple of investments in there, but some of the cloud computing into things. I mean, I realize that, I have a friend, Sandy Kurtzig, she started a company called ASK Computer back when we were both young, and it was a manufacturing software company, and reasonably successful group, about $80 million, sold it, and now she's back in doing the same thing in a cloud model. I'm not particularly convinced that putting it in the cloud makes it uniquely different than anything else that's been out there. But people are making money at it, and they're getting investments. I'm a little sketch on that. I actually do think that there are medical device opportunities that will revolutionize people's health if they can figure out ways to get them funded. And the things that I see in the health side of things, and even some of the research going on at the OHSU, where they're essentially now, taking our DNA and tailoring drugs for us as an individual to see what will work and what won't work, and create vaccines out of your own body, your own DNA. I think that's pretty fascinating. I don't know. I don't look at a lot of new kinds of things, but the new kinds of things, because I'm involved in the company, but the new kinds of things that I don't personally see the next paradigm shift. Like Facebook was a paradigm shift, like Mentor was a paradigm shift, like Apple was a paradigm shift, so. But I don't have any doubt that there will be one. I don't know, I should ask you, you look at this stuff all the time.
It's all one big blur at the end of the day. No, I mean, I totally agree with you on the social side. I think that it's, the businesses are fascinating to try to figure out, but that they are a paradigm shift as a tool, as a, I think they're going to transform something different than what they are right now. But I think it's going to be a while.
Yeah. It feels a little to me like it's easier to start a company today than it should be.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying much easier, it takes a lot less money, which is both good and dangerous.
Well, when we started Mentor, right from the very get-go, the goal was to build a company, not a product, but to build a company. And we used to say, I don't know if you remember this in the early days, we used to say that our goal was to build a company that was going to last for 100 years. And we turned down, I can't say how many different acquisition approaches to be able to do that. Now 30 years isn't 100 years, and the good news is I won't be around to see if it gets to 100 or not, but building a company, I don't see as much wanting to build a company as wanting to build a product.
Listen, I was digital equipment for 16 years.
Oh, were you? I wish I could job there.
Yeah. And,
in the old mill.
Yeah, and it was unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
When it was unbelievable, and then it was gone.
Yeah.
But it was built to be a company forever.
Yeah, to build a company, yeah. And that's a very different mental set. You make different decisions if your goal is to build a company and a culture around that company and someplace that people want to work and want to be at and want to be there for a long time. You make different decisions than if the idea is to raise money, sell a product, and make some money. Which, you can decide which is better or worse depending upon what it is for you.
So what got you into pharmaceuticals?
What got me into pharmaceuticals? Well, like most things in my life, it was as simple as turning left instead of turning right when you came out the door. I graduated from UC Santa Barbara. They invited me down to, this is some years ago, to help judge a business plan competition. I did. The winning business plan competition was a medical diagnostic company that, long story short, gave